Okie doke.
Not really.
So
Maybe
breakfast.
the thing of it. The daughter.
You, Private Robert walks you back, and the sun has very definitely risen into the sky.
It's lunchtime now.
It is a little late for breakfast when you make it to your father's tent, but he was willing to expect the possibility that you would sleep in. He doesn't know what the regular schedule is. So I'm guessing it is somewhere in the vicinity of after 8 but before 9. Yeah. So there's that, and you reach the command tent. Your father is speaking with people when you arrive, and he sees you and wraps things up, and invites you in and says, would you like some breakfast?
Oh, yes, please.
Such as we have to offer. And they do. Okay, peoples, you all put your brains together and help me. What kind of breakfast is this going to be?
Oatmeal?
Out of battlefields?
Yeah.
It's like some kind of
Oatmeal
slop.
porridge
Maybe
or something.
maybe sausage for protein,
Or
but
maybe bread.
If they can store sausage.
Yeah.
If he's the,
dried meats maybe.
Salted.
what is he? It was
Yeah,
Yeah,
salted
jerky.
meats.
Christianus is the general?
They have things like, for instance, there's goats that they use for milk. They also will kill a goat periodically and cook it up for meat. So yeah, it's
I don't think it's, whatever it is great, but seeing as she's Christianus' daughter, whatever they have, she will get the best.
yeah. I'm just trying. It was like eggs. Chicken.
Yeah,
No,
not in this weather.
Not in this weather. Yeah. So.
Maybe some lutefisk.
Some hard frozen eggs.
So bread, cheese, and a warm porridge.
Very kind to that. With all due respect, porridge.
Which
An
is
edible liquid.
porridge with a little goat's milk and salt and pepper. So it has. It's way not. You're far from one, and the.
Well, thank you for breakfast. I know it's not easy having your daughter here.
So, are you more settled now?
Yes. I think so. We read this book, this play. There's a lady in the play who rules the underworld. That she's a prisoner. And her love comes to rescue her. But their trust is broken. And he can't lead her out of it. And the line goes, without trust, there is no love. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Is that the way it is?
I cannot disagree. Love is a complicated thing that I do not pretend to understand completely. There was a moment when I held you in my arms the first time that I knew that I loved you in a frightening degree. At a moment before I had not. It was just who you were. and who I was. But love matures. It has to. Even as little girls turn into young women. And as it does so, what you say is true.
Is that the way marriage is?
With marriage, you both start as adults. And so that two-way need for trust is there from the beginning. It is a commitment of heart and soul that the lock of trust, betrayal, can only tear down and destroy. And so one must always be on guard to maintain that trust, to remain faithful and true, so that a lack of trust cannot tear down the love that is there. Sadly, I've seen that happen too many times, amongst even those that are very close to me. I'm told there was a time that divorce was unheard of virtually in the world, but that is long past.
How do you know if you can trust someone? How do you know if they trust you?
It is an act of faith that can only be supported or not by the actions or choices of the one who professes love. One of the hardest things I had to deal with in my relationship with your mother was that my daily responsibilities were such that there were things that I could not share with her. And it was very hard. Because
It's hard to keep a secret from someone.
indeed, in fact, it was almost impossible sometimes. I mean, the daily ennui that no one would care about is easy. But the important things, the important decisions, the important knowledge that shakes you to your soul is something that is difficult, if not impossible, not to share. And so it becomes, when we love, we extend trust. When we hope that it is never betrayed. There was an author I found somewhat bitter who wrote that our short human lifespan was an advantage over those creatures that existed forever, because we at least could believe in the permanence of love, which he declared to be an illusion. I prefer not quite so dark a view. But what raises these thoughts with you?
You always talk about me like I'm the sun, moon, and stars. not.
I know. And you are. At the same time, you're just a human girl. In her 15th year. Young, inexperienced. But you're also my daughter. And a wonder in my eyes. Every daughter is probably a wonder in her father's eyes. It doesn't mean the fathers are wrong. I think it just means that when you're born, our scales fall from our eyes and we see what you don't. You are the sun, the moon, the stars, and not. But do not begrudge an old man his joys.
I'm a sinner. I hate people, and I despise them, and I resent them, and I want what they have, and then I'm ungrateful when I get it. And I'm full of pride and selfish as hell. And I don't want you to... I want to be everything you think I am. And I hunger for your good opinion. But I don't want you to take it as a personal betrayal when you find out that I'm no better than you or anybody else.
I know you are not a divine being. I know you're human. I know that you're trust me. I know that you are easily frustrated. I remember you crying when you didn't get your way. I know that, but love looks beyond those things also. There is an irrationality to it. We are a strange mixture of glory and darkness. And when one first falls in love, one sees all the glory and none of the darkness. And when you stay in love, you see the glory and the darkness. And when you cease to love, you see only the darkness. I love you. And I know the glory and the darkness is there. Do not get lost in your darkness and forget that there is so much light and beauty and wonder about you. That in my humble opinion, there is no man on this planet that deserves you. And yet, likely, you will find some young man on whom you do set your love, and the glory you see there will be sufficient for you to bestow the glory that you have upon him. Your glories are real, as is your darkness, I know that. But what sins have brought you here that you so fear that my love could be shaken?
That is not my fault. I have always tried to honor the faith that you place. If I had any dignity of my own, I would throw it away.
Okay, that's close enough. David takes a moment to say, that's close enough.
am here because you mean the world to me. And I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you the way Beatrice Sereno lost you. I came to release you so that my anger would not stand between us. But it's not the only thing that can.
You can make him walk over here. The vibes are bad.
You may make
over there.
you may make a die roll
What am I rolling for?
perception.
Survival. Constitution.
Perception. As you drive a narrow dagger through between his ribs, the question is whether or not you catch the flutter of his eyelids.
13.
No, you do not. Okay. He rolled a 3.
No.
And so when his blood ran cold,
You did not notice.
It's only logical.
I don't want to be here.
My heart is in your hands. It's been broken. But I serve a God who binds up the brokenhearted. I'm gonna come through this. I want you to come through it with me. You're going to have to tell me the truth.
what? I want to tell you the truth. But there's a lot of truth to tell. What truth are you seeking?
Why didn't you tell her?
Tell her. Tell who what?
Why didn't you tell my mother about High King Julius's death?
I did tell her of High King Julius's death. The whole world knew of it.
They didn't know what you knew, nor should they, perhaps. But her.
Would you give me another perception roll? You may actually get it. There's limits on my role playing.
16.
Um,
Not good.
I will ask: when you are speaking with him, are you keeping? Are you eye to eye? Are you? Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Your father is someone who is always, when he's carried on conversations with you, speaks to you eye to eye. He cannot hold your gaze at that moment. And I told you that there are secrets. Secrets necessary to the very existence of the realm that I am bound to keep. And those secrets as much as I want to, am by necessity forbidden to share. As much as I wanted to, I could not share everything I knew of that man. And you were but a child. What has brought these questions to mind?
Some reading I was doing. Yesterday, you forgave me for snooping in your office. As you consider whether that still stands. consider that yesterday I forgave you.
I forgave you then, and it still stands.
You forgave me not knowing the extent of what I'd done.
Then what is the extent of what you've done? And I will forgive it. But tell me, please. I am not good at guessing games.
I told you I found everything in your study, didn't I?
You said that you went through all my desk, yes?
I found everything that was in my power to find.
And that would be?
I read your journals. I found Mother's ring. And I read your journals.
No.
It is hard to keep a secret from someone you love.
You can make a perception roll again.
You may fail your perception roll.
Again.
You have permission to fail your perception roll a third time.
9.
9. It would seem to your perception that he paled. First roll was a 10, so I don't feel bad about the fact that I can't think my way out of this at the moment. The second roll is better. Ah. Ah. What journal did you read?
Are you asking which volume?
Shot to the heart, and you're to blame. Sorry.
You get that nuts.
I had defenses, but this was an approach I was not planning on. I did not think of.
This is actually what Christiana said. Rough.
Good to go.
Your mother's ring?
Yes.
Your mother's ring was in the safe.
Yes.
Who opened the safe for you?
I did.
You are Christianus. Lies do not become us.
I'm not lying.
The safe requires at least the talent to open. Your mother's ring, you do not. Are you saying you have the talent?
Yeah.
You never tested for it before.
You're changing the subject.
I'm confused. I understand. If you have the talent, I understand how you would find your mother's ring, for I left it there. But I do not know, I do not understand what you mean by volumes.
All you had to do was tell me the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. How did... Honor, faith, dignity. But how came those words to you? How came you to open the safe? It has been years since those words have been spoken in the house. I don't think it has been during your remembrance. I am staggered that you have the talent, and I've been willing to believe that. But then you also had the means of opening the safe. and you found your mother's ring. All of that I accept, but how?
You know how it is at a small school. Teachers remember. There's generations of stories being told. Stories of students past. But that's not how I learned. I asked Duncan what you were like at school. And he told me you had a motto. He was not with me in your study, nor did he know he was telling me.
Of course not. It was mere happenstance that he came and visited you and told you that. And you opened it and you found your mother's ring. What did you expect I would do with it? I could not give it away, and I could not bear to carry it. Her loss nearly killed me. And many days I wish it had. Except that on those days I would remember you. But again, what do you mean by journalist? What did the journals tell you? These journals you found in the safe using the passphrase that Duncan gave you.
Are you telling me that you kept no journals in the safe?
Oh, I did. In school. Though I think they're long gone.
No. Are you telling me that you kept no journals in the safe?
I kept no journals in the safe. What did those journals say? What makes them so bring you to tears?
I met you in those journals. They were your voice. They confirmed the highest opinion I ever had of you. And also my worst fears.
What is it you feared?
That the corruption of the world had undone you.
I fear that is inevitable for us all.
You don't have to bear the sin of the world. Jesus has done that.
It is not my place to bear the sin of the world. That is true. But it is my place to resist the corruption of the world as best as I am able. To faithfully keep oath. To defend the realm against all foes, foreign and domestic. And I have been faithful in that oath. I have not broken oath. Whatever you may have read, know that I did not and I have betrayed no one. What? I do not know how to defend myself against that which I have not seen. But I must applaud him if this is Duncan's work.
You think that Duncan planted journals journals in your safe, your secret safe in our house. With your secret password.
That he told you? Clearly it was not very secret. It defies comprehension that that man should come to you, tell you the password, and thereby cast me as both villain and whatever else has terrified you at your worst fears. He did know that I kept journals. And he read many of my journals, many of my entries in our youth. And I do not know what became of all of my journals.
Not right now.
When did you stop your journal?
When I graduated wand and took the oath of the Pallet Knight, for I had then on to keep the secrets of the realm.
You have yet to posit an opportunity.
I don't know what opportunity.
Oh no!
I just know I haven't been at my home for many, many months. And I know that he had visited that home at least once while you were there. I know when I haven't had opportunity. And clearly I can see when he has. He's clearly an opportunist even from his youth. And while our childish adventures were pleasing when we were children, I now look back on them with regret. Because if love can be broken by loss of trust, my love for him was broken many a year ago. And I fear that he is one of the greatest dangers, greatest threats to the realm, foreign or domestic. Though I cannot yet at this time prove it. But the likelihood's pretty high. We fought an elder mage at that bastion out there. An elder mage of the red. And he slew one of my Pallet Knights and took the arm of one of our mages. And under his leadership, hundreds of men died. Good men too. I do not know what he would be doing at my home in Cameron, but it only raises in me fear. And chiefly fear for you. I am relieved he did not kill you. But now I fear he has done his best to strike a knife into your love for me.
My love for you.
And I do not know what hurts more, that blow or the fact that you would want to believe the lie.
Father,
Coffee.
I came across the realm
Coffee.
because of my love for you. If I needed to, I would have walked into yon dragon's den.
Thank you. But know that whatever guilt you imagine lies in those
books you found, they are fiction. The truth is, I am your father and I am true.
No. You are a man. You are a sinner. Jesus is true. You don't get to call yourself that. Not like that.
I remain your father. And I love you beyond measure. I do not know what to say beyond that.
Did you kill Beatrice Serena?
Critical.
Oh no!
What does that mean?
It means that he can look her in the eye and with a completely straight face, take his integrity, set it on a fire, burn it to dust, and without flinching say no. Because he knows his daughter won't understand. This is all he is doing.
And you are giving me the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth. So help you God.
As God is my witness. So yeah, he's gonna die. But not here.
God is your witness.
And to save us both, someone comes to the tent at that point and calls for him and
And says it's munching time.
I'm sorry, I must attend to these things. And you are allowed to escape.
Do I leave or does he leave?
This is the command tent, and basically generals show up. So our conversation is not done. My duty, as always, calls.
I'll be here.
Just like duty called and
Killed my mother!
And he has phone calls to me. Go to that house right now. We will open that safe. We will not read what's inside. You will burn it to ash.